My brother got my fiance pregnant, and my dad gave him the family business and a house, so I decided to make them both pay for their betrayal. I was the guy who showed up at 6 in the morning to unlock the office. I ran payroll every Friday because my dad said spreadsheets gave him headaches. I fixed the busted equipment, handled the angry clients, did the boring crap nobody wanted to do. My younger brother Nate, he'd roll in at 9, crack jokes with the crew, leave at 3, and somehow Dad thought he was amazing. I figured that's just how it was. I didn't mind being the worker while Nate got to be the favorite. But then my fiance Claire told me she was pregnant, and for like 2 weeks, I was the happiest I'd ever been. We'd been engaged a year, saving every penny for this little house by the lake. I was already picturing our kid running around in the yard. Then I was at my parents' house fixing their kitchen sink, and I heard my mom on the phone in the hallway. She was whispering, but the house was quiet. "Nate, you can't hide this forever. It's going to come out." My hands stopped moving. I just sat there under the sink, cold tile against my back, listening to my heartbeat get louder. That night I went to Claire's apartment. Didn't call first. I walked in and said, "Tell me the truth right now." She started crying immediately, which was all the answer I needed. Turned out her and Nate hooked up one night after we'd had this huge fight about wedding stuff. She said it didn't mean anything. I didn't even yell. I just grabbed my jacket and left. I quit the family business the next morning. Didn't give 2 weeks. Just handed Dad my keys and walked. He called me dramatic. My mom cried and said I was tearing the family apart. Nate didn't say anything at all. 4 months later, Dad called me. I thought maybe he'd apologize. Instead he goes, "Just wanted to let you know I'm giving Nate the business. He's got a family now, needs the stability." Then he mentioned they were also giving him the house. The house Dad had promised me when Claire and I got married. The one with the big garage I'd been excited about. "Nate needs it more," he said, like it was obvious. I hung up and sat in my apartment staring at the wall for probably an hour. Then I got to work. I started my own contracting company, registered it under a different name, EM Builders. I called every subcontractor I knew, every supplier, every client who'd ever said they liked working with me. I undercut Dad's bids on 3 major projects that first month. Not by much, just enough. I busted my back to finish jobs early, stayed obsessively professional, made sure every client loved me. Within a year, I had 12 employees and a reputation for being dependable. Dad's company started struggling. Nate was running it into the ground, which wasn't surprising since he'd never actually done the hard parts. Then I hired Frank. He'd been Dad's accountant for 20 years before retiring. I took him to lunch, explained the situation, and asked if he'd look at some old records I'd kept. Frank spent 2 weeks going through everything. Turns out Nate had been moving money into his personal account for months, paying himself bonuses, billing personal stuff to the company card, all kinds of shady crap. I didn't go to Dad with it. I went to the investors, the city council that awarded the municipal contracts. I made sure those documents ended up in the right hands. Dad's company lost every major contract within 3 weeks. Their reputation tanked. People started asking questions. When the office building went up for auction 6 months later, I bought it. Didn't even feel good about it. Just felt necessary. Dad and Nate showed up at my new office a week after that. Dad looked older. Nate looked scared. They wanted money, maybe a job, something. I was sitting at my desk when they walked in, and I just pointed up at the sign above the door. Big blue letters, EM Builders. "That's mine now," I said. "You're welcome to apply for a job if you want. We're hiring laborers." Dad's face went red. He started yelling about family, about forgiveness, about how I was being cruel. Nate just stood there. I let Dad finish. Then I said, "You gave him everything that was supposed to be mine. The business, the house. You picked him, so now you get to live with that choice." They left. Haven't heard from them since.